how powerful is singing and chorus when it comes to narrate a story?
Um, so the music is right at the center of the story. The Balron drum behind the action is the heartbeat of the entire show. So I don't think it'd be possible to tell this story without that score, those Newfoundland instruments. And that was the first thing that hooked me. When I first read this, I got a CD at that point of 6 or 8 of the songs, and I listened to them nonstop for about 24 hours. So the music was really my route into the story.
What brought you into the production of the film, turning the musical into a film?
So we've been talking for several years about what would it be like to try to capture the essence of the stage show on film. And when everything shut down, it seemed like, wow, this is the moment if we can bring an audience in, because an audience is crucial to this story. You really can't tell it in an empty room. The audience is another character in it. So the first moment that we could have an audience back in the theater, that the all the protocols would allow that, that was the moment that we shot this, and it was incredible to have that first audience back after Broadway had been shut down for more than a year.
So, Chris, when you shot the film, did you had to adapt to the rhythm of the musical, or you were able to do takes and stop, and how did it work, or close-ups, or I don't know.
It would have taken forever. Like it would have taken weeks and weeks and weeks if we had broken it down beat by beat, because the show moves so fast and is so complicated. So we really, first day of our 4 days of shooting and last day, we ran the show a couple of times. So we did a little bit of kind of the breakdown beat by beat in the middle, but largely we captured it with 10 cameras on the show as we ran it.
Cool, cool, cool. So when one is confronted with a small space and all
Yeah.
the cameras and all the equipment, how important is lighting to create drama or to create a connection among the audience, not only the audience in the theater, but also the audience that is going to be participating after in the movie theater or in streaming?
So the lighting is such a key part of what makes this show work. Incredible lighting designer named Howell Binkley designed it for the stage and has still since passed away. We dedicated the film to him. And our DP, Tobias Schleisler, really loved his lighting design and wanted to really honor it. So you have to relight for the camera, but we really relit with the idea of keeping intact the essence of that lighting design. And it's particularly tricky if you're going to try to shoot simultaneously from 10 different cameras, all of which have a different angle. So Tobias pulled off the impossible, which is to create a lighting design to shoot with that looks good from 360 degrees, which was hard.
So, Chris, it's a very uplifting film, and so it makes me feel that kindness exists. We're not all like terrible people, right? We're not that horrible always.
I hope that's true. I hope that I would behave as well as the people of Newfoundland did in the week of 9/11. They really stopped their lives. They fed these strangers, 7,000 people. The population of the town doubled, and housed them and created a family. And these people were traumatized. I mean, they had just gone through something extraordinary and hard, and the people of this small town took care of them with such generosity. So I hope I would behave as well. I'm not sure I would. But if we're going to get through this moment we're in, we're probably going to do it by taking care of each other.
You also talk about homophobia and Islamophobia and all kinds of phobias. Could you explain a little that? I thought it was good to integrate that into the musical and the movie.
Yeah, well, so there's two couples who are going through massive life changes as a response in response to 9/11. One couple is just meeting and coming together and falling in love, and then there's a gay couple who are at the end of their relationship, and the stresses of this time are really kind of ripping their relationship apart. And they're so suspicious of this place at the beginning. They really believe that it's going to have a red state mentality, that there's going to be homophobia here. So they're very shielded and guarded about the way that they express and show their relationship. And it turns out that the town couldn't be more permissive and accepting. And I think there's a line in the movie that they ended up in the gayest town in Newfoundland. Uh, but it was important to us to not undersell all the difficulties, right? These are people who um, arrive here not sharing language, not sharing culture, not sharing religion. Certainly, that was the beginning of a really terrible chapter in what it's like to be a Muslim traveling in North America or around the world, and the suspicion it was already there a day later after 9/11 of our Muslim character. So we really tried to be clear about all of the grit in the wheel, all of the ways in which this was a really difficult time as well. And I think I admire these characters more for behaving well because it was so difficult.